Hi everyone, my name is Sara, and today we'll be creating a few creative spreads using some of the Lemonade Party theme. And you can find most of these items in our recent summer relaunch collection. So that includes the Lemonade Party, Tropical Fun, Summer Watermelons, Sunflower Critters, and Summer Mermaids. Let's get into it. So today I want to create 3 different spreads for summer, and I know that summer's almost over, but why not create a few spreads to remember and cherish the last few weeks of the month before the school year starts. So let's kind of go over what materials I have today, and I'll be sure to include the names and the codes of these Tombow markers. So what I am using today is from Lemonade Party. This is the variety pack, and it is super cute. There's a bunch of different textures and papers that you can use in this pack, and so I love it for that reason. For whatever you want to create, you have a whole lot of options here. You have 5 planner stickers here. These are fun for some sort of add-ons for your spreads. We have the Lemonade Party die cut stickers, and we have 3 sticker sheets: When Life Gives You Lemons, Lemonade Party, and Orange Lime Fun. And then I just have these 3 Tombow mono drawing pens. So we use 01, 05, and 03. And these have different thicknesses, and they're really great for writing in the starter journal that we offer. And this has a dot grid. You can kind of see it here, but yeah. And then we do offer this permanent adhesive as well, and we have a cute little ruler and an eraser and scissors just in case. And I also have some craft paper that we might be able to use for some interactive spreads. And now I'll just go over the markers I have today and the colors. Today I'll be using Tombow 743, 723, 990, 025, and this is 055, 131, and 451. Use this a lot. So this is just if you want to use the same colors that I'm going to be using today. And we're just going to explore and have fun with it. So first I want to start off doing a kind of cover spread for August, kind of looking back at my summer, and just have a pretty spread for the month. So I am going to open this up first actually and see what we got to use. So we get a cute little backing, and these are some regular vinyl stickers. These feel like writable stickers. These cute little notes, little washi, lemons and limes and oranges. These are some sparkly little stickers. These transparent sparkly wedges, and these cute little stamps with, I believe that's gold foil. So we got a lot to work with in here. And then I'll open up the die cuts too, just to see what we have. Cute. The classic lemon. Cute. So now I'm just gonna do my August cover spread, and my goal is to have sort of like a scene. So I'm just gonna draw a line here. And I like to sketch out thumbnails just before I make my spread, so forgive me for this piece of paper, but I have an idea here where I want to have little lemonade cellar stalls here and a little pathway that kind of leads you through it, and then you'll have August 2025 on the page, and it'll be like a super cute kind of like storybook scene. And I'm blocking out just where I want stuff, so the circle's going to be where I have my title, like August 2025. and maybe one stall here, and another one here, playing with height. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I want to start coloring actually before I go in with pen or any other detail. And then I'll stick my stickers on top. And I'm going to follow the dock grid lines as I color. And then I'm going to do this side, just coloring in the grass. Okay, so the grass is done, and now I think I'm just gonna sketch in the path, and you can do this however you like. Okay, that's the trail. Now I feel a bit more confident to be adding stickers now, and I think I'm gonna grab a few from this sheet, When Life Gives You Lemons. Just kind of play with, so I'm just gonna place them where I have my circles blocked out here. So I think I'll put this one back here. Let's get started with our title. So we're gonna take our brush sign pen that we'll be using today, and it's great for headers, doing really cute lettering, calligraphy, etc. There's my August, and I think I'm going to write 2025 on top. And I think the thing about making creative spreads like this is that it really doesn't have to be perfect. You're just exploring. So even if you're not super happy with something, that's fine. You tried it, and that's the whole point of being creative. You're just kind of challenging yourself and scaring yourself a little bit. So I think actually I'm going to grab a few of these washi stickers, and they're from the variety pack. So let's see. I like them to frame the sides. Then I'm just going to go over the grass a little bit and darken it. So we're just darkening it up a little bit. And I'm just going to grab, let's see, my number 3 mono drawing pen, and I'm just going to outline the grass and the path. And then I'm just going to create some little marks here just to make it look like the stickers are really in the grass. And then some dots on this trail, make it look like dirt. And then I think I'm just going to add a blue sky. Let's add some stickers here because it's looking a little bare. Going back in with my Tombow Mono 3 to add more grass details. Just adding some details. Okay, so this is our spread so far. I think I want to add a few more little details, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this. For our second spread, we are going to work on a spread similar to something I've done before, which is a picnic basket spread, in which you can hold the handles and open the basket, and it's a super fun and interactive spread. And here you're kind of looking into the picnic basket from a bird's eye view. However, I do believe that you can just kind of reinterpret this however you want. For today, we're just going to do a summer bucket list or basket list with lemonade party. So let's get into it. So I have this cardstock paper here, and we're going to be using these, or just one sheet really, to make the lid or the top of our basket. So I already kind of have an example here that we can use actually, but I'll just kind of go over my steps one more time. So essentially what I did was I used the dot grid in this journal as a guide to create a rectangle shape. So you're going to have a bigger rectangle across the spread. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you got one. And then you're going to make a second smaller rectangle on the inside. And this would be the base of your basket. So once you have this, we're going to create the lid of the basket. So we're going to take our paper, fold it in half. I recommend 8.5 by 11, but it depends on what sort of journal you're using. I am using the starter journal. So we folded this in half, and I'm going to cut this now. Great. So this is going to be one side of the lid. We're going to line it up and with like the size of the box that we need. So we're going to trim along here and trim along here so that it's the same size. So we have those lines there. We're going to trim that. Perfect. So your piece of paper should fit within the width of the one page. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side for that. We're going to fold this into thirds. So what I like to do is fold it once. And I'm going to go to the right to this time and fold it again. And then one more fold to the left so that you should have an accordion kind of shape. So we're actually folding into fourths, but okay. And then we take the backing of the variety pack and they're all different for everything. So the colors are really cool here and you can reuse and repurpose the packaging. So we're just going to cut out like handles here. So that's just a simple C shape like this, like brackets. Okay, so one is going one direction and the other is going the other direction, and you would just cut these out and then put them here. And then we'll cut the other one out. Okay, so remember how we cut the other half? We're gonna use this side to cut the other leg. So we're just gonna trim here. Yep, and that fits just about right. And then we're gonna fold one. Let's try to make that straight. And then we're gonna fold the other way and then back the same way. This is our layout. So now let's actually make it pretty. Okay, so I want to put a few things that I'm doing or want to do in the summer. I really want to go to the Rainforest Cafe. And I'd like to have a cottage trip / road trip and maybe a solo photo shoot and then take my cat on a walk. And my title will be up here. And I'll call it Summer Basket List instead of Bucket List. So now we're going to start drawing lines for it to look more like you're looking from a bird's eye view. And these kind of make a wicker basket. And all those lines are like weaved and intricate. I'm going to do like a crisscross. Now we're going to color this in. And I have my handy dandy markers here. we're going to start adding some stickers that we have. Probably I'll have a sticker per thing. Let's use some of this. Now I'm gonna just going to follow the dot grid. You can also use a ruler, but now we're actually going to create the basket now that we have essentially a skeleton for it. Okay, and then we're just going to write probably with the brush pen. So I'm just filling that in there. And then we'll add some stickers. And these are from the variety pack. I'm adding some sparkles. And I'm going to add my title, Summer Basket List with one color. And then add a black outline. Now we're just going to color in this. So again, I'm doing what we did with before. And it doesn't have to be perfect once again, but take as much time as you need to do this part to make it look how you want. Okay, and now we're going to use our adhesive tape. And we're sticking the handles onto each lid, and then we're making these diagonal lines. And then we're going to take the edge here and add some glue and align it to the edge of the piece of paper. And then do the same on this piece of paper as well. Okay, so essentially now we have our basket. Ta-da! And it's super cute and super easy to do. And you can really do this for anything or any sort of occasion or anything you kind of just want to record in your journal, but give it a little twist and make it a little bit more fun and a little bit 3D. So hopefully that was helpful. And now we can move on to our next one. For this last spread, I want to try Dutch door sort of thing and also have it be like a self-care sort of spread so I can refer back to it whenever I need to. I'm going to include sort of things that I've done this summer that help me mentally and help me take care of myself, but do it with a Dutch door and include Lemonade Party with it as well. So this would be my first time actually trying Dutch doors, so I'm very excited. So I know that I have to cut out this page, and I would be using all 3 of these pages, so I want to cut this down the middle. You should grab a handy dandy grid spacing sheet. If you don't have one of these are available in a lot of our starter sets, and I believe now you can purchase them individually on our website. So these have the same dot grids that you can find in our dot grid journal, and they line up pretty perfectly. So I'm just going to find where the middle is, which is about here, I want to say. And we're just going to cut along that line. But first I want to add some lemons to it. And I also want to maybe divide this page in half as well. So I am going to bring this back. And I'm going to line up the grid. And this will be the middle. Here. And then the middle on this page. So on this side, I want to have, let me refer to my handy dandy thumbnail drawings. So I want to have one side saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I'll probably have that here. And then on this side, I will probably say make lemonade. And then this page, I want to put some lemons here. So I'll add the stickers for that. And then I'll write like self-care tips up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm just kind of spacing them out. Okay, that's a good place to stop for now. So let's try something fun. I'm going to use the yellow and we're going to write the title. So when life gives you on this side, and I'm writing lemons in with a different pen, and then I add make lemonade on that side. So great. Now we're going to continue, just add some more detail on both pages. And I think I want the sticker here, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, so I stick it up there because there's enough space. And then maybe I'll put that one here. Perfect. And now I'm just making some adjustments and adding some like lemonade juice, kind of splashing around. And this is the 0.5 pen, and I'll just write self-care tips as a header up next to the sticker. Then I underline that. And then for each tip, I'll have probably from this planner sticker 1, 2, 3, 4 different stickers. So I'm just going to place them wherever, probably to the left of each tip. 3, 4. And then I'll grab from this sheet and I'll place them on the right of each tip. Great. And then up along the edge, we have here, I'm going to put some more stickers that will fit. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this out. And it's a little tricky with the scissors, but if you have an X-Acto knife or a different sort of knife at home, use that for sure. And now that I have this cut out, I'm going to line up the other side and the other tips just so that they're aligned on this side. So I make 4 lines there, and I continue them on the other page. And then I'm just going to use this marker to create lines. So it was really helpful for us to have the grid spacing sheet to divide up the page and make it kind of look a bit more organized for sure. Okay, now I'm adding some more details and I'm writing each sort of self-care tip I have for myself next to each sticker that I've placed. So call a friend, do your nails, etc. And then I'm doing the same thing where I'm adding the stickers on the left side. And then I add them on the right, on the other page. And then I fill in the space by adding some of the bigger die cut stickers. And then I'm just sort of coloring in that twisted border. I'm drawing a lemon. And then I add the rest of my tips. So, like watch a comfort show or put on some good music. And now I'm just going to fill in some of the white space that's remaining. But that's pretty much the gist of this spread. I'm placing these there. These are super cute. Outlining the juice. Adding some detail to the Dutch door. Okay, so I think this is about it, and you kind of get the gist. So when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I have all these little tips in here, and that helped me get out of a funk. So I hope that these 3 spreads were helpful for you and could help maybe kickstart some ideas or make some creative spreads that maybe you didn't think about before, but hopefully now you can take some things that I shared today and incorporate them in your journal. So thank you so much for watching, and bye!